It takes 55 minutes to make 8 seconds of animation once you get this tool down, but I condensed it down to a 9-minute lesson for you. So let's start with a regular sized HD so that my image can go onto a YouTube screen. And the first thing I did to draw this bird was just to use a vector brush. And I went with the symmetry tool on the side, and I noticed as I was reviewing this that the tail was too small, and thank goodness I enlarged that. So here I'm doing a separate layer for the wings, and then I will eventually merge the wing layer and the body layer together and blend all the feathers so that it looks right. And then I'm, thank gosh, fixing the tail to make it larger. And then again, I go in and mend that. It's worth it to make your drawing look good and presentable because you never know how big the screen is going to be that it ends up on. So the next thing that's really important here is the magic graphic motion tool. And right here, I press on the little frame box in that open dialog, and I'm going to create another frame. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to copy that several times, but each time I duplicate the frame, I change it a little bit. I'm going to end up with 4 frames. 2 of them will be the same, and 2 of them will be completely different. So, oh, why did it turn purple? Well, it's showing an onion skin, and that means you can see through to the frame below it. And in a moment, you're going to see how that's helpful. So I'm going to, oops, I forgot to turn off the symmetry tool. That didn't work, so turn off the symmetry tool. Now I'm going to actually kind of cut that wing, select it, and then I'm going to skew it. And all of those tools can be found in the dialog box of the frames management on the bottom of the screen. Then, of course, I go in and I mend those feathers back together because, you know, the quality of your drawing does matter even when it's moving. And so now you can see the advantage of being able to see through to the frame before so that you can compare, like, where exactly do I want these wings to stretch to? And then I clean that one all up. And then it's probably going to happen pretty fast here. Let me see if I can slow it down. I duplicated the frame again, and then I moved it over so it's in the position number 3. So you've got basically position number 1 is neutral, stretch forward, and then back to neutral. And then I copied that again. I duplicated that frame again. And now on this last frame, I'm going to do the same process where I bring those wings in so that they're contracted or swooping down. And so they look smaller. I mend them as I did with all of the others. And pretty soon we're going to be able to see the whole thing move together. After I mend all this, I'm going to just hit the play all button and you'll see the wings start to flap. Just about there. And we're going to hit the play all button right there. They're flapping a little bit fast for my tastes. So I'm going to press on the settings and I'm going to adjust at the very top the frames per second. If I go down, they slow down. I'm at 8 there. That's still a little not quite right. 6 is too slow. I'm going to go up to 7. And that looks right to me, so I move on. I'm going to pause that. And the next thing I'm going to do is create a path. And so I've gone slow here. Now watch the X appear at the end of my pen nib. That little X is important, and you'll see when you do this that a dashed blue line follows that X. Now that's an actual path. It's not going to show up on your drawing. If it's a solid line, that means you might have to tap it again until you get the X with the dashed line. And I drew this path even off the page and then back on the page. I crossed it. It's a pretty active path. Uh-oh, what's happening with that bird? Well, let's fix that. It is flying on the path, but it doesn't look right. So let's press Effects. And these are the special effects, and you might have to press it a couple times to get the dialog box to open up on the side. And sometimes you have to restart it. So there we go. We got the dialog box for effects to open up on the side. And I'm going to go down to this magic button, Align to Path. Whoa, that changed everything. And now when you see the bird move on the path, it looks right. He's moving in the direction that I wanted him to. So he's kind of moving a little bit fast. So I can use the second frames control to slow the speed of the bird on the path. This means that I'm going to increase how many frames happen on that path. And they're still at the original frame rate, but it moves along the path slower if I increase how many frames are going to be on that path. And it's a long path, so there's a lot of, and they're here. Oh, here's another magic button. I added multiples. Whoa, they almost crashed into each other. So that was kind of snuck up on me here. I love the multiples button. You don't have to redraw the bird. You just add a second one. So now I've decided that I'm going to do a background. And I'm going to make it a sky, and then I'm going to create, those look good flying around in that beautiful sky, but I think I want some clouds. So you'll see me quickly create some additional layers here, and on each layer I'm going to turn on the motion button for each cloud, and I'm going to set a pathway just like I did with the birds. But these pathways are going to be a lot simpler. They're just going to be, let's see if we slow down here and show you how I set a path for that cloud. Hit the path button, and I'm just going to go ahead and do one cloud here on one path. And now you'll see I add layers and I make additional clouds. I set up additional pathways. And they don't look right in the speeded up version that I'm showing you here, but when I was looking at them, it was not in the speeded up version, and they do look okay. Pretty soon I'm going to show you how those clouds look. There we go. They're moving pretty fast, but I kind of like it anyway. This is an 8-second animation, and so I wanted those clouds to go across the whole screen. And so here, let's export it. We're going to export it as a motion graphic, an MP4. I'm naming it, and I'm going to make it web ready when I export it. And so it shows up in my photos, and here it is, the finished product. If this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe. I will bring you more of this kind of tutorial, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. Thanks a lot.